Hi everybody, and welcome back to this next lecture. In this lecture we're going to be looking at plugins and the plugins that you really need to kick off your blog. Now there's been a lot written about plugins, there's a lot of information out there on the internet around plugins, but really the ideal way to treat plugins is to try and get less to give you more, because plugins can be tricky. Plugins have been known to interfere with themes and the way that a website operates. So it's really important that you don't overload your site with loads and loads of plugins. So in this lecture I'm just going to walk you through probably the top 5 plugins that I would use to kick off your blog. And the first one is what we've got on the screen here, which is something called Akismet. And Akismet is an anti-spam plugin. Now basically what happens when you set your website up, you will get people that will try and leave comments on your site, and one of the reasons why they do this is because they can then get a backlink from your site to their site, and the comment has no relation to your site at all. So what Akismet does, it stops that happening. Now I've used Akismet nearly on all of my sites, and you have to pay for it, but it's not that expensive. I think it's about $20 a year. But if you go to the akismet.com site, which is I'm on here, and you can sign up for an Akismet plan. They give you an API key, which you can then insert into your website, and you will have Akismet and it will stop spam. So quite an important little plugin for you, something that I use on all of my sites, because it does stop the annoying spam that does happen. The next plugin is something called Auto Terms of Service and Privacy Policy. Now this is probably something that you'll never ever see on a website unless you really search for it, of course, but every website needs terms of service and a privacy policy, and this plugin is a really easy way of making sure that your website has got a terms of service and a privacy policy, and it's really easy to configure. So you can download it, it's free, and obviously you can put it on your website and that will sort that out for you. The next one is something called SumoMe. SumoMe is something that I install on all of my sites, and if I just click over to my main site, this is the SumoMe Sumo store, I suppose, and I've upgraded here to the professional plan, which means that I can access all these things. But what SumoMe has got is got loads of very useful little apps that you can use on your website, from a smart bar to collect email addresses, a welcome mat once again to collect email addresses, Google Analytics, a list builder. It's a really good set of apps that you can install on your website, and to help you basically collect contacts, collect email addresses. So it's well worth having a look through and seeing that if that is what you require for your site. But I would definitely recommend that you do that. The next couple of plugins really are all around search engine optimization. One is Yoast. Once again, I use Yoast on most of my sites. This is the plugin site. You'll be able to search that at the back end, and you've got all the features here, from post titles, content analysis, etc. And what Yoast does, it will give you an indication of how well your particular post or your page is looking as far as search engine optimization goes. So in other words, you've got the right keywords in there, then your post is going to be found. The other one that I really like is something called SEO Presser. Once again, quite similar to Yoast. I think this costs about $4.99 a month, but what it does, once again, it analyzes both your website and any posts or pages that you will actually create, to make sure that they meet the SEO parameters that you need to get your posts and your pages noticed by Google. The next plugin is Google Analytics. You need to make sure that you're tracking how many visitors come to your website, where they're coming from, which pages that they're going to, and so this is a very simple plugin that will help you do that. You register with Google for Google Analytics, and then you just put in your UA number into here, and it will make sure that everything is being tracked. The penultimate plugin is something called W3 Total Cache. Now this is all about really optimizing your website, making sure that your pages load really quickly, and because we all know how frustrating it is when a page loads and takes a long time to load, and as you see, they've got a little video here about WordPress site that loads in under 2 seconds, and that's what you're looking for. So loading this plugin and using this plugin will give you at least a 10 times improvement in your overall site performance, so it's well worth doing. It's well worth installing on your site. And finally, the last one that I would recommend, and really only if you want to use AdSense, is Google AdSense Integration WP Quads. And the reason why I'd use this is because you can actually dictate where AdSense is going to show up on your site, and that is sometimes quite important. So this is also a great little plugin. As I said, you can control where you put your AdSense, where it shows up, and not only AdSense, if you're into affiliate marketing and you start to put affiliate links in and affiliate adverts in, you can also use it to cite where you want that code to be placed on your website. Okay, I hope you found this useful. 5-6 really useful plugins that I would recommend at the outset as you set up your blog, and I'll come back to those as we go through our case study later on down the line. I'll see you all in the next lecture.